Hello and welcome back, dear students. It has been a very long hiatus since we had last discussed on a particular content. Well, we are back again with a new topic, that is poems for comprehension. In your question paper, soon after your passages for comprehension, that is precisely the fifth main question, you have poems for comprehension. There will be one poem which will be given to you. A small stanza of a particular poem will be given to you, and there will be three simple questions set on that particular stanza. And that particular poem can be referred from your streams book. In your streams, between page number 45 and 61, there are 15 poems for your reference and practice. So the whole poem will not be asked in the examination. Only a small part of a poem will be given, and small part of a poem in the sense one stanza of 4 lines or 5 lines will be given in the examination with only three simple questions which you need to answer. Please mind you that poems are not for memorization. You need not memorize the whole poem. These poems are unlike what we have in prose and poetry section, or that is Springs. The one we have in Springs is different. The set of poetry, the set of poems for that matter, are different, and the poems that we have here in streams are different. So these are not to be memorized, these are not to be analyzed, these are just to be read and simply comprehended. Just read the poems, mark the main points such as the name of a person in the poem mentioned, the things that happen, just mark them, and those will be asked for 1 mark each. That means poems for comprehension. This particular question, that is fifth main question, gets you 3 marks if you answer all 3 set questions. Let us get to know how a poem can be asked in the examination. The first poem, we will read it completely. That is Ozymandias. Ozymandias is the first poem that is given in streams, page number 45. I met a traveler from an antique land who said, 2 vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Ozymandias is a ruler, is an ancient ruler in Egypt. His statue is to be is found by a traveler. A traveler notices that 2 vast and trunkless means without any body, without any torso, legs of stone stand in the desert. So the whole body is completely destroyed of this king. The statue of this body is completely destroyed. Near them on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies. A person's face is lying, half sunk, a shattered face is lying. That means the whole statue is broken into pieces and it is scattered all over the place in this desert. And wrinkled lip, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command. So the face has lost its charm. The face that is of this statue has lost its charm. So the speaker continues. All this tell that its sculptor well those passions read, with which yet survive, stamped on those lifeless things. The hand that mocked them, and the heart that fed, and on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. So this particular line is written on the pedestal, that is frame of that statue. On that frame these lines are written. So what does this line mean? Simple. These lines are quite uh, these lines are written in utmost pride, which says, my name is Ozymandias, king of all kings. Look on my works, the mighty. And you lose hope when you look at my works, is what this means. Nothing beside remains. So the king was once upon a time a great ruler, but now his statue is shattered. Round the decay of that colossal great wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away. What this poem means here is, once upon a time, this king, the Paro, that is the king of Egypt, Ozymandias, was a mighty ruler, but now nothing remains. So this particular poem gives us a moral idea that when you are high and mighty, never be too proud of yourself and your works. With humility, one has to reign and rule, is what this poem gives us a thought. So let us check the questions. As I told you before, these poems are not for memorization, these poems are not for analysis, these are just to be read and comprehended. Comprehended means understood. So three simple questions will be asked. Let's check. Who did the speaker meet? Who did the speaker meet? Simple. Traveler. In the first line itself you will find, I met a traveler. Where did the traveler come from? Simple. Antique land. The one who read the passions well is the sculptor. So by now you might have understood that the questions that are set here are quite simple. Answering them is not a rocket science. It's quite easy for anybody and everybody to answer these simple questions, because these are not analytical questions or very difficult questions. These are quite simple questions. Let us check how in your examination you will find such a text. This was for your explanation. Let us see what kind of questions you will find in your examination. A small stanza will be given and three questions will be set on that. Let us check with the next poem. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. A simple text, that is one stanza out of all will be picked, and on that stanza there will be three questions set. Let us read this stanza. The caged bird sings with fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill. It's and AB, AB, AB. Rhyme scheme. So let us check the questions here. Where, according to the speaker, is the bird? Where is it? Simple. In the cage. What does the bird sing of? The bird sings of things that are unknown, of unknown things. Whose tune is heard on the distant hill? Simple. The caged bird's tune is heard on the distant hill. But the way you need to write is quite simple. Do not repeat the question in your examination, in your answer script. Do not repeat the whole part of the question and then add your answer. Just write your answer. Keep it quite simple. We have another example here. The poem is The Crutches. The text that is given here is, well, I am cured now. I can walk. Cured by nothing more than laughter. Sometimes, though, when I see sticks, I walk worse for some hours after. So it's a small stanza of 4 lines from the poem Crutches. This particular stanza is of the narrator here in the poem, who says, who has been lame in his life, lame in the sense who could not walk for ages, and finally he is cured. And this is what he says in this, that is, he is cured now. There hasn't been any medicine given to him, but a beautiful smile was cast at him, because of which he is completely cured. Sometimes though, whenever he sees sticks, he tend to walk worse for some hours after, and then he is all fine. So this particular poem can be read keeping things like addiction in mind. uh, Things like addiction, things like uh, things that we are slave to, these things can be kept in mind while reading this poem. We tend to overcome our struggles, we tend to overcome our wrongdoings, addictions be it, but whenever we see those things flashing before our eyes, we tend to feel little weak, but we need to keep our heart strong to come out of those things. So it's a very simple poem. Please read it. Very beautiful poem to read. Let us see the questions that are set on it. What can the speaker do now? Simple. The speaker can walk now. How was the speaker cured? In the second line, you will find the answer, by laughter. When does the speaker walk worse? In the third line, you will see this answer, when he sees sticks. So by now you might have understood how simple the task is. A small stanza will be given in your question paper. Three questions will be set, carrying 1 mark each. Read the poem carefully and attempt those questions, and you will be having 3 marks in your pocket. So with this, we come to the end of first part of poems for comprehension. We will come up with few more poems that we have in our previous year's question papers, and we will solve them for you. Until then, have a good day. Take care of yourselves, dear students. Thank you.